So first and foremost, do it soon. So if you're in a meeting with a colleague and you observe behavior, or perhaps they misspoke on a topic, or just general things that you think that they did really well perhaps, give them that feedback immediately. It's very, very great to give that right in the moment so you can point to specific activity. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to provide that feedback and the less meaningful it becomes to the person who's getting it. So tip number one is to do that soon. Second is to be specific. So be really clear about what it is you are providing feedback on. Give an example of a time when they displayed the behavior that they will remember. I think one of the most frustrating things that I've heard team members say is you tell them, oh, you're doing great. And they come back to you and say, well, what is it that I'm doing really great on? So it's very important to be specific and say, here are the things you're doing great on, and give them the list and the ideas of what they're doing. Finally, is to be direct yet kind. I think this is probably my favorite because we are all so much more fearful of giving feedback than receiving it. If we're doing it with kindness in our heart, if we're doing it because we truly want to see the other person get better, we're all going to be better for that. If you think about your personal brand here for a minute, I know Marilyn pointed that out as one of the services that's offered here, and it's a crucial topic as you're thinking about your career development. Think about how your personal brand aligns with your desire and ability to give feedback. So if you're thinking of words that come to mind for yourself, jot them down, or even heck, share it with the rest of the group here. One of the brands that I got early in my career that stuck with me is firm yet friendly. So I like the be direct yet kind. I'm definitely firm. I have opinions that I want to see things happen, but I'm always friendly in my nature, whether it's giving my opinion, giving feedback. So remember to be direct yet kind. One of the best resources I came upon recently is the book Radical Candor. Some of you may know this from a TED Talk that the author Kim Scott gave. I'm actually in the middle of reading, or actually listening to the audiobook, and I was so struck by what she talked about that I decided to add it in today's presentation. But Kim positions feedback as guidance, and she gives great examples in this book. So if you're a people leader, I highly recommend checking this out. Or if you're simply in a role where you want to learn how to give better feedback to your peers, check it out. But if you're thinking about guidance instead of feedback, perhaps that's a way to get you more comfortable with giving this feedback. I like to think about feedback like a flu shot. So think about this if you're preparing for a mid-year review or you're preparing for a meeting, and you'll be getting some feedback in that meeting. There might be a little bit of fear in that. There might be a little of like, oh gosh, this might hurt a little bit. And I think about that like a flu shot. Before that shot goes in, you're probably having some of those things like, oh, this might sting, or it might burn, it might tingle a little bit. But at the end of getting that flu shot, you're protected from the flu for the rest of the season. And I think feedback's like that. Yes, it stings in the moment. There's that pinch. It hurts. That's normal to feel that way, but my gosh, getting feedback can have the ability to pivot you in the direction that you're meant to be headed. So remember that when you're hesitating about giving people feedback, or if you're nervous about getting feedback, remember this flu shot reference, because we're all better off for getting and receiving any type of feedback, whether it's the positive feedback or that critical feedback that you need to move forward in a different direction. There are a couple concepts when it comes to crucial conversations that go beyond feedback that I want to touch on here. One of my favorite authors right now is Bren Brown. Many of you may know her from her Vulnerability TED Talk, and she also has several books. But this is one of my favorite quotes from Bren, and I'll let you read this on your own here. But it's all about vulnerability and being comfortable speaking the truth. And this comes to mind for me with feedback, because so often we aren't truthful because we're fearful that this person might not like me anymore, or that they will get mad at me. Well, guess what? Being courageous in order to be truthful with people goes really far and will likely gain you a significant amount of respect versus if you held your tongue and didn't share the truth with them. The other quote that I like to share is this following one by FDR. once again, it's this fear factor. Fear is what's getting in our way of being truly honest with others and telling them how we're seeing their performance or where we think they need to head. So we think about just being courageous and getting over our own fear and stepping into courage will help get us there.